Good morning. It's Tracy Fink with the Tortoise Institute, and it's the St. Patrick's Day Positivity edition of Wednesday Wisdom. So, I teach mindfulness-based emotional intelligence at the Tortoise Institute. You can visit my website at thetortoiseinstitute.com. And the reason why I do these Wednesday Wisdoms is to share some of the things that I'm learning. If you know me personally, you know I'm a lifelong learner. I'm always interested. I'm curious. I want to share what I learn, and that was how Wednesday Wisdom came to be. Well, this week, or maybe last week, I learned a new word or phrase called toxic positivity. And that is something that I have been struggling with, and somebody put the words to it. So thank you, Sharon Weinreb, for sharing that with me. But essentially, what toxic positivity means that, no matter what the situation is, we need to put on a happy face and good vibes only, and go from there. No room for despair or negative thinking or being with some really painful and difficult emotions, because that's not happy. Well, Jesus, that was my whole year in 2020. So this idea that we have to have good vibes only, or think happy thoughts, diminishes at least 50% of the thoughts that I know I was feeling, and I'm sure that was true for many of us, if not more than 50%. What happens is when we feel guilty about, being with all of our emotions, the negative, the icky, the mean and desperate emotions, when we don't feel worthy, we don't feel guilty, we shut down, and we don't build the resilience of of moving forward. So I really appreciate that expression, toxic positivity. It's not only be happy, think positively. Although I do want to say that when we reframe a situation into a more helpful and healthy way of approaching it, that does allow us to move forward from some of the tough times. And I'm going to put this down. I learned some of this from this course that I took, Positive Intelligence, with Shirzad Chamine. He's great. I really think he is onto something, and I encourage you to watch his TED Talk. But he offered a 6-week class, and then I extended it to go a little deeper, to bring some of the richness into my coaching practice and to understand this from my own personal growth and development. So essentially, positive intelligence is a form of mental fitness. It's shifting the way that we think by recognizing some of the voices in our head. And the way he describes it is that we all have these judges and these saboteurs that have lived a very comfortable life on our shoulder for most of our lives. So we all have a judge. We've heard her or him, and we probably have a name for it as well. And we also have these accomplices, these saboteurs that just add to the, stir the pot. So what I learned is my saboteur is this hyper vigilant voice that tells me that the world, when bad things happen, that I'm not going to be able to deal with this, that the world is going to come to an end, I don't have the strength, I'm not strong enough, I can't manage or navigate through difficult times. And then next to her is another little victim-y voice, poor me, I can't do this, I want everyone to feel bad for me. So I have learned through this course how to become more mentally fit. So it's actually recognizing those voices are very important for us to hear and to recognize. But how long do we stay with them? How much power do we give them? That's where the mental fitness comes in. So the way Shirzad describes it is, we need some of this pain. It's like keeping our hand on a hot stove. But how long are we going to keep our hands on the hot stove before we shift, before we do something? Well, first we have to recognize that we're burning up, or that we're in pain, or that we're hearing a voice that has accompanied us our lives but may or may not be true anymore. So really paying attention and being curious about that voice, and then doing some physical mental exercises, even in the form of rubbing your two fingers together with such intensity that you could feel the ridges on both fingers. That allows us to take ourselves out of this saboteur mode and into this present moment, with a sense of touch. And then we can replace it or reframe it with some more positive or more helpful ways of navigating, either by finding the gift or opportunity, or becoming curious like a scientist about what's happening, or becoming so laser focused on what we need to do next, instead of wallowing in that self-pity or the victim. Okay, let me get out of this. What do I need to do so that I can move forward? We all have this. There's no shame in it. It's just that we've become so accustomed to listening to these voices, or to not knowing that there's a choice, that we don't know that we can be different, that we can have a much more healthy way of dealing with difficult emotions without shutting them down. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to think about it. Because what happens when we shut down, I don't want to think about it, that's what bubbles up. It's not until we deal with it, until we talk it over, until we go toward the pain, that we're able to free ourselves of it. So I'm really pleased to be able to offer the 6-week course with Shirzad as part of my deepening practice. I have access to the course, and I'm going to be offering it probably in early May. It's not a big time commitment, but really it's a total game changer. So it's a weekly video. It's the app that teaches you some of these physical, mental mind shift exercises. And it's also a weekly pod where we can discuss some of the things that you've learned over the course of the week. It's probably 2 to 3 hours a week of paying attention and doing some things that could really change your life. We got to do the work if we want to make the change. And also you get the audio book so you can listen to it. I'm also going to be taking a few weeks off from Wednesday Wisdom. I'm going to be doing some caregiving and a little bit of travel. So I will see you in April. I will post some more information about the next session of Positive Intelligence. I have a waiting list already just for some of the people that I've discussed it with, and I'm so happy to offer the friends and family discount to all of you because you are my friends and family. So I will see you in a few weeks. Please take care of yourself, stay safe, be kind to yourself, deal with it all. It all is here to teach us and to make us stronger down the road. Take care.